Tonight's story is the story of a little boy who had a magnetic drawing board. Well, the story started when he was only about 1 year old. When he was 1 year old, a friend brought him a magnetic drawing board. That's a board where you have a magnetic pencil, and if you write on the board, you can see lines underneath the pencil, and then you can wipe it clean quickly with a little ladybird that you push up or down. And there were also some other magnets, like a magnetic rabbit, a magnetic cat, a magnetic dog, and a magnetic duck, or well, the shapes of these animals.
And also, you also get a rabbit, a dog, and a dog, and a cat.
That's right. So these magnetic shapes.
But this one missing.
Well, it's true the cat is missing now. Anyway, these magnetic shapes, if you put them on the board, they would make the shape of the rabbit, the dog, the cat, or the duck.
If you put it like that, it doesn't work like that.
No, what the young lad is demonstrating is if you take the duck or the rabbit and scribble on the board, it just makes a big mess. It doesn't make the shape of the duck. It only makes the shape of the duck if you put it on the board and hold it still and then move it. Anyway, that's how the story started when he was 1 year old or 1.5 years old. And he didn't really understand what he's doing, but he thought it was interesting to make some messy shapes on the board. But then his daddy saw he wasn't playing with it much when he was 1.5, 2 years old. So daddy put it in the garage. Anyway, the months went by, the weeks went by, the days went by, even the years went by. And much later, the little boy was nearly 3.5 years old. One day he said, "Daddy, can I have a look at the toys in the garage?" Well, Daddy said, "They're all baby's toys, you won't want them." But sure enough, he found his own magnetic drawing board. "I want to play with this," he said, and he took it in the house. Well, even though it was for little babies, he actually found he could draw pictures. He could draw dogs, cats, people, houses.
But mine's got no houses and no cows. Oh, but only cats. And ducks. But not piggies.
Anyway, so he was drawing some pictures.
Ladybugs. Where's ladybugs live?
But there was one thing he didn't know about his drawing board, and that is if you draw a picture very, very well, it'll come to life. So the little boy was busy drawing away, and he drew a picture of his mummy, a very nice picture of the mummy. She had 2 very large eyes, a tiny nose, dots for her eyebrows, and a huge mouth, which was a bit wonky. Didn't really look like his mummy at all, but he said it was mummy. "Look," he said, Daddy, he said, "I've drawn a picture of mummy." And Daddy said, "But you've forgotten her hair." So immediately he started to draw hair with straight lines, which didn't really resemble mummy's hair, which is more curly and wavy. But anyway, he drew straight line hair. But because the picture was so good, while he was sleeping, the picture came to life, and out of the picture came another mummy. The next morning, the little boy woke up, and instead of only one mummy, he had 2 mummies. "Hello," said Mummy, and "Hello," said the other mummy. And Aiden said to his mummies, "Hello, Mummy, hello, the other mummy." Then the 2 mummies said, "Hurry up, Aiden, get out of bed." And one said, "Come on, you must get out, come and have your breakfast." And the other one said, "Quickly, brush your teeth." And the daddy came in and said, "Come on, Aiden, get dressed." Now, the poor little boy, Aiden, didn't know whether he should get dressed, brush his teeth, or have his breakfast. Finally, he went down to breakfast, and the 2 mummies were telling him different things. One said, eat your cereal. The other one said, "Eat your fruit." And Daddy said, "Would you like to drink some orange juice?" Poor little boy, he didn't know what to answer. And then it was time to go to the creche. And one said, "Put your shoes on." The other one said, "Put your coat on." And then the mummies got in the car and put the little boy in the car and they drove to the creche. When they got to the creche, the teachers were very surprised. They said, "My goodness me, Aidan, you've got 2 mummies." And Aidan said, "Yes, I've got 2 mummies because I drew her very well and she became alive." But that was just the beginning. Afterwards, it started to get much better because one of the mummies could do the work like the washing or the cooking. Then the other one could play with Aidan. So one would read him books and the other one would do the washing up or wash the clothes. Then they'd change over. One would do the hoovering and the other one would read stories to Aidan. And then they'd change over and one would help Aidan build a castle while the other one went shopping. And then they'd swap over and one would jump around in the paddling pool with Aidan while the other one was busy sweeping the floor, for example. And so it went on. And it was really great. Aidan loved having 2 mummies because 2 mummies were twice as good as 1 mummy. And he had much more attention. And he started to love his mummy both his mummies very much. So he said to Mummy, "Mummy, I love you." And the 2 mummies said, "Which one, me or her?" And he said, "Both of you, mummies." And they both said, "We love you back too." Both mummies loved Aidan very much.
But if I draw this picture, magic, is there a magic board?
Yeah, well, in this story, it was a magic board, so when they draw a picture, it becomes alive.
Yes, but if we draw, it will...
You mean if you draw on your real magnetic board, will it come alive?
No.
Well, there's only one way to find out. That's to draw a picture and see.
If I leave it there on my bed, what will happen?
Well, there's only
It will clean.
only one way to find out. You have to go to sleep and see what happens in the night while you're asleep.
Oh, no.
Anyway, let me tell you the end of the story. We're nearly at the end.
Okay.
The evening came and it was time for a story. So the 2 mummies came to Aidan's bedroom and said, "Let me tell you a story." And the other one said, "I'll tell you a story too." And guess what? One told the story about Puss in Boots. The next one told the story of Jack in the Beanstalk. And then the first one told the story of Cinderella. And then the next one told the story about the Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. And little Aidan had twice as many stories as he usually gets. And that made him very, very happy. And Aidan and his 2 mummies lived happily ever after.
But let me say story again.
Well, I'll let you listen to it on the iPhone, okay?
I will say thank you. I will say thank you to you.
All right, you say thank you to me.
Thank you.
But you have to lie down before I put any stories on, okay?